The thing that built your business is the same thing that's quietly breaking your team. Come closer. I'll explain. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Every skill that you developed to get here, the independence, the ability to make fast decisions, the drive to just handle it yourself because it's faster and you know it'll get done right. Those skills got you to where you are. But here's the thing that nobody tells you. The moment that you hired your first team member, those same skills started working against you. And most business owners don't even realize it until the ceiling that they're hitting has been there for a while. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I've got four parts to this conversation that I think are going to hit close to home. Okay. But first, I want to welcome you to The Quiet Mic. My name is Natasha, and this is where we have real conversations about what it actually takes to lead a team well without losing yourself in the process. Okay. Now, if this is your first time here, I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I want to welcome you. If you've been here for a while, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Something is coming very soon, and you don't want to miss it. Okay. Now, let's get into it. Here's the paradox that nobody prepares you for when you start to build a team. Okay. The traits that made you a great business builder are often those same exact traits that make leading people so much harder. You're independent, so you don't ask for help easily. You're decisive, so you struggle to let other people make decisions without you. You have high standards, so you find it hard to hand things off because in your mind, nobody will do it the way you would. So you move fast. So that means you get frustrated when things slow down the moment that other people are involved. Does any of that sound familiar? Well, none of those things are character flaws, friend. Every single one of them helped you get here. But when you bring those same instincts into a team environment without adjusting them, they create the very problems that you're trying to solve. Okay. And underneath all of it, if we're really being honest, is fear. Okay. That's underneath all of that. Fear, that's what's showing up in ways that might surprise you. Let me show you what I mean. Okay. The first part is the fear behind the ceiling. Okay. Now let's talk about fear for a minute because I think it's the conversation that sits underneath everything else that we talk about when it comes to leadership and business growth. Okay. Fear in leadership doesn't always look dramatic like many people might think. It doesn't look like panic or paralysis. It looks like reasonable, right? It looks practical. It looks like I'll just handle it myself because it's faster. It looks like I don't want to ask for help because I should just be able to figure this out, right? It looks like I can't let go of this because nobody understands it the way that I do. That's fear. It's just dressed up in productivity clothing. Okay. And here's what I want you to understand about the ceiling that you're hitting right now. It's not a business problem. It's not a team problem. It's a fear problem. The ceiling that exists because fear is keeping you from doing the very things that will take your business to the next level. Letting someone else carry part of that vision is a part of that fear. Asking for support before you're desperate. Being honest with your team about what you need from them. Building systems that don't require you to be in the middle of everything. Okay. Every single one of those things requires you to move through a fear. And most business owners at your level are standing right at the edge of that fear every single day, knowing that they need to cross it, but they're not crossing it. Okay. Now, here's the thing, the ceiling you keep hitting isn't a business problem. It's a fear that hasn't been faced yet. And that leads us to part two of today's conversation. Part two is what you're actually protecting. Okay. Now, I want to get specific here. Okay. So I might slow it down a little bit because fear looks different for different people. And I want you to be able to recognize yours. For some of you, it's the fear of delegation, right? And it sounds like nobody's going to do it the way that I do it. Or by the time I explain it, I could have just done it myself. Sound familiar? Yeah, I know. And what you're actually protecting is your standard. And so I get it, right? That's a good thing to protect. But the way that you're protecting it is by keeping everything on your plate. And that plate has a limit, friend. Protecting your standard by doing everything yourself isn't leadership. It's a ceiling with a really good excuse. Okay. For some of you, it's the fear of asking for help. And it sounds like I should be able to handle this, or I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. And what you're actually protecting is your image, the image of the person who has it all together, the person who built this, who figures things out. But that image is costing you the support that would actually help you grow. Asking for help isn't a sign that you don't know what you're doing. It's a sign that you know exactly what you need. Okay? So think of it in that excuse me, in that sense. For some of you, it's the fear of not being liked by your team. Yeah, that's a common one. And it shows up as avoiding hard conversations, softening feedback that needs to be direct, letting things slide because you don't want to change the dynamic. And what you're actually protecting is the relationship, which matters, okay? But not more than the results that your team needs to produce, and not more than the respect that they deserve from you as their leader. Your team doesn't need you to be liked. They need you to be honest. Those are two totally different things, and only one of them moves the business forward. Okay. And for some of you, it's the fear of not having all the answers. Yeah. It sounds like waiting until you're sure before you move, over preparing before you communicate, sitting on decisions longer than necessary because what if you're wrong? Right. And what you're actually protecting is your confidence. But confidence doesn't come from having all the answers. It actually comes from trusting yourself to handle whatever the answers bring. Okay. You don't need all the answers to lead well. You just need the courage to move before you have them. Yeah. And that leads us to the third part of today's conversation. Okay. Part three is what's on the other side. Now, I want to talk about what's on the other side of each of those fears that I've mentioned so far, because I think that most people focus so much on the fear itself that they never really sit with what's waiting for them on the other side of it. On the other side of the fear of delegation is a team that can actually run without you. Not perfectly at first, but over time. And with each thing you let go of deliberately, you get time back, you get focus back, you get the ability to work on your business instead of just in it. You see, every time you let go of something your team can handle, you get back something that only you can do. Okay. On the other side of the fear of asking for help is breathing room. Yeah, real breathing room, though. Not the kind you promise yourself on the other side of the next busy season, actual space to think, to plan, to lead instead of just reacting, right? We don't want to do reaction. We want to be proactive. Think about this. The help you're afraid to ask for is the space that you've been desperate for. And on the other side of the fear of honesty with your team is trust. And I mean real trust, not the kind where people are pleasant because nothing hard has been said. I'm talking about the kind where people know exactly where they stand, what's expected, and that you respect them enough to tell them the truth. That kind of trust is what turns a group of people into an actual team. Because honest leaders don't lose relationships, they build ones worth having. Okay. Remember that. And on the other side of the fear of not having all the answers is confidence, not the performed kind. I'm talking about the real kind, the kind that comes from moving through uncertainty and realizing that you were more capable than the fear told you. Okay. Just know the confidence that you're waiting to feel is on the other side of the decision that you keep not making. And that brings us to the last and fourth part of today's conversation. Part four is the cost of staying safe. And this is my favorite one. And I want to be so direct with you here because I think this is the part that most leadership content skips over in favor of something that's more comfortable. But it needs to be said. So here we go. Staying safe has a cost. And I don't mean staying safe in a dramatic way. I mean the type of staying quiet where you keep doing things that are the way that you've always done them because things feel risky. The way where you hold on to control because letting go feels dangerous. The way where you stay in the comfortable version of your leadership because the uncomfortable version requires something from you that you're not sure you're ready to give. That's the one that I'm talking about. That cost shows up in your business. in a team that's not growing because you haven't created the conditions for them to grow, in revenue that's plateaued because you're the bottleneck, in opportunities you're missing because you're too deep in the day to day functions to even see them. Okay. But it also shows up in you, in the exhaustion of carrying everything, in the loneliness of feeling like you can't let anyone fully in the quiet frustration of knowing that your business could be more than it is right now, but not being sure how to get there. That's the cost of staying safe. And it's real and it's adding up, friend. Playing it safe in your leadership isn't protecting your business, it's just delaying the growth that's already waiting for you. Okay. Now, I want to speak directly to the business owner who is standing right at the edge of that fear right now. I'm talking to you. Come closer. You know what needs to change. Honestly, you've pretty much known for quite a while. You can feel the ceiling. You can feel the weight of carrying way too much. You can feel the gap between where your leadership is and where your business needs to be. And part of you is waiting. You're waiting until you feel ready. You're waiting until things slow down just enough to focus on this, right? You're waiting until you have more clarity or more confidence or more time. But here's what I want you to hear today. The readiness you're waiting for doesn't come before the decision. It comes after. Every leader who has crossed that fear and built something on the other side of it will tell you the same exact thing. They were not ready when they started. They became ready by starting. Okay. You have built something so real. You have done hard things before. And the version of your leadership that your business needs next is not some distant future version of you. Okay. It's the version that decides today that the fear is worth facing. You don't find your next level of leadership, you decide to step into it. So here's what I want you to take away today, because I'm never before you long. Okay. The leadership style that built your business is not the leadership style that will grow it. Okay. And friend, that's not criticism. That's just the reality of what growth requires. It requires you to let go of some things, to ask for some things, and to build some things that don't exist yet in how you lead. And the fear that you're feeling around all of that is not a sign that you're not ready. It's a sign that you're standing right at the edge of something so important. Okay. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what it actually looks like to help a business owner cross that edge. Not with a pep talk, but with a real framework, a real plan, something that takes you from where you are right now to leading in a way that your business can actually grow around. Okay. And I do have something coming very, very soon that I built specifically for this moment, for the business owner who knows something needs to change and is finally ready to do something about it. So I want you to stay close because it's almost time. Before you close this out, I want to hear from you. Okay. So in the comments, drop and tell me one thing. Which one of those four fears hit closest to home to you today? Was it the delegation? Was it asking for help? Was it being honest with your team? Or not just having answers? Just drop it in the comments. I do read the comments. Okay. And if this episode gave you something real, go ahead and share with one business owner, two, three, however many owners, business owners, leaders in your life that needed to hear it today. Okay. Again, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and stay close for what's coming next. It was built exactly for where you are right now, coming very soon. Okay. And remember, the quiet ones move the room. So let your quiet speak loud. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.